Welcome to today's episode of For Fuck's Sake, where we answer your frequently asked question or fucks that you have given us. Today we have a special guest, Oompa Loompa, whom you probably have seen his videos. So this entire series will be all about us knowing the local community, the common Joe, the common Janes, what they have been up to, and we're going to ask them some very divisive questions. First off, Oompa Loompa, maybe give us a short introduction of yourself.
Hey, first of all, thank you so much for hosting me in your place. When I first came in, I told you guys you have a professional setup, and I'm very nervous because this is the first time I'm getting interviewed. So more about myself. I have a YouTube channel if you guys have watched my videos. So it's called Oompa Loompa Cycling. I started it back in October last year during COVID. So my channel is more about interviewing the riders themselves. They have their bike and they tell me more about their bikes, how do they like it and how do they not like it. So that's the concept around my videos. And the reason why I do that is because I don't do the review because I have not ridden their bike and I can't really give a good answer as to how does the bike perform and whatnot. So that's the real difference between my channel and I guess everyone's channel. That's why I think it's doing okay. I'm around at 3K subs and I'm hoping that you will continue growing.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. We think you're doing a good job, like reaching out to the community, which is exactly what everybody wants, and to see everybody's poison and all that kind of different kind of bikes out there, which is like totally awesome. So we do this segment every time, okay? All right, we're gonna ask you quick fire questions. You're gonna say what you like and what you don't like. Oversized wheel pulleys.
If you guys have been watching my videos, you know I always target oversized pulleys, so the answer is nay. But I just think the oversized pulley is just a marginal gain kind of thing. You guys can attack me if you think I'm wrong. I think it's still all in the legs. Your body still plays the majority of the wind resistance, and the bike also as well. But oversized pulley, no man. Are you guys on oversized pulleys?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
So are you faster than me?
Yes.
No, we haven't officially tested yet, okay?
What's your FTP?
Oh, yeah, I don't play FTP, okay?
Okay, which oversized pulley are you on?
Kogel.
Kogel. That's a nice pulley, man.
Yeah, nice, right?
It looks nice lah. So is that the reason why you got the oversized pulley?
It looks nice lah.
Yeah.
Really nice.
We sell Kogel. We sell
Hey, so
Kogel.
can I bring one home later?
Okay, next up. Flat handlebar or circular handlebars?
I would go for flat only because my bike's an aero bike. So I think aesthetically it looks nicer as well. In terms of whether it makes any performance gains, I assume it's so, but it's probably like an oversized pulley, not much. I bet there are pros who are also running on round handlebars and they're probably beating those guys on flat.
Disc or rim?
I think going forward, everyone's going to be on disc, so my answer would be disc. But I was actually mentioning in some of my videos that I preferred a rim bike because of the maintenance. You guys are a bike shop, you know that rims are probably much more easier to maintain. I contaminated my brake pads and my rotor, so that's a big problem for me. That's why I don't like this. But this, the modulation is good, the braking power is there, so this for me.
Shimano or SRAM or Kempi, but Kempi I know it's quite unique lah. I mean, not many people have it.
Answer is Shimano. So I like Shimano because I think I've not tried SRAM, but I think Shimano, like when you want to do DIY and you maintain your bike parts, it's much more easier and very straightforward. For example, you take the crank arm, right? You got to remove it from the BB.
Yeah.
It's very simple, like the tools and the mechanism. I have a Quark power meter, so that one comes with that 54 Newton meter torque in that SRAM, that BB area, right? And I find it so hard to remove that 54 Newton meter. I don't know why they designed it that way. So SRAM, man. Shimano.
Next up is deep set carbon wheels, okay? It's got to be like 50 mm and above.
For Singapore, yay. No point going anything shallower than 50 because there's no hills for you guys to climb, man. Unless you're gonna do Faber like 100 times every year.
Oh, you did eh?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, on the bench.
How was it?
Painful.
How deep were your wheels?
I mean, I was on 50. I mean, my Rovels they're generally quite light set of wheels lah. So it was still quite okay. And there was something. The thing is that at that point of time, it was pretty much just keeping into the zone 2 range. So your bike, weight does matter, but even if I get lighter wheel set, maybe about 100 grams, to me it's not that much because the whole bike itself already, as an aero bike, is already quite heavy. So yeah, it's painful lah. But
yeah, right now I'm running the MV SES 5.6, so 54 and 63 and especially TMC are just flat all the way. I find like anything above 35 to 40, you don't really need to push that hard. Then again, I've not tried any other wheels. These are my first deep section wheels. Yeah, you can kind of scold me or shoot me for an NVSES as a first deep section.
Yeah, your first set, you NVSES really.
No, that's because I wanted to go for, I wanted to buy Rovels, being a Specialized fanboy myself. I just don't, sorry, I don't like SL7. I know Philip likes SL7. I wanted to get Rovels, but I went to P3 and went to Specialized Binjai. They told me, oh, Rovels are out of stock and stuff. So I was looking at around that kind of price range, so I decided on my NVs. Mainly also because I wanted the Chris King hub. I regretted buying the Chris King hub now because it's way too heavy, man. It's too heavy. It's too heavy.
Okay. Wow, a bit weird, huh? You are on aero, but you are concerned. Okay. So next up is, if you had to do it all over again, I know you ride an aero bike. Aero or lightweight?
Aero.
Who's aero?
I like the looks of aero bikes. Again, because you're in Singapore, right? It's all flats, man. Why would you want to go lightweight? What do you want to do with a lightweight bike? But I know one of my friends, my cycling kaki, he rides a very lightweight Giant TCR. I think it's the highest end where the seat post is integrated.
The entire frame is
and he told me he'd rather go for a lightweight frame, and he's way much faster than me. He says the lightweight frame is much faster because of the acceleration, and he owns a Madone as well. And most of the time he's riding on his Giant, man, and he likes the lightweight bike. But for me, it's an aero bike.
Are you a carouseller or carouseller?
Carouseller 100%. I've actually, speaking of people asking for cheap discounts, I posted my old SL6 online and someone asked me, hey, like what you said, I'm a student and stuff, right? I mean, yeah, you're a student, then buy a cheaper bike lah, don't come and buy expensive bikes, right? And he said, can I pay in installment? I'm like, I actually gave him life advice, man. I'm like, bro, I mean, I said, if you want to pay by installment, you're just going to be indebted for the rest of your life. It's not going to happen to your bike, it's going to happen to your house, your car, or whatever, right? So I told him, just set a budget which you can afford in cash and, just pay upfront. So don't buy my bike if it's too expensive for you. There are other bikes which are better.
Don't pay by installment.
There we go, guys. Oompa Loompa, not only bike advice, but financial advice.
There you go.
Anybody wants to hire me as a financial advisor?
Right now, we are going to go to the next segment where we ask our guests a little bit more about themselves as a cyclist. And you guys probably know that this fella here is the owner of the Oompa Loompa YouTube channel, which is 3,000 subs. We are trying to get there. So right now we're going to be asking him, about what was the main idea. Was it the intention to get more viewership with like maybe sponsor, maybe an additional revenue stream through YouTube, or is it just out of passion?
I have my YouTube channel for like the past 10 years and I've been uploading like travel vlogs. Like I said, that never took off because it was nothing special, everyone was doing it. I do a bit of bike videos and bike how-tos, but nobody watched my videos. But there was one video that really took off, which is when I bought my S-Works Venge. I bought a frame and it was a super spec'd out bike and I thought, I'm going to take a video of it. So one day I got the bike all assembled, I took out my iPhone, I hit record and I started filming myself narrating about the bike. So I was like, hey, okay, so this is my S-Works Venge, I have the Dura Ace and what I like and what I don't like. And I just uploaded it onto YouTube, right? And I didn't expect any views or whatsoever, but I think 1 month later, I logged into my YouTube account and I saw like 10,000 views on that video. Yeah, and then I thought, wow, people are actually watching this, 10,000 views, and my face is not even there. And I'm just holding my camera, just talking, okay, I've got Dura Ace, this is my stem length, blah, 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 NVSES. And 3 months down the road, it actually picked up all the way until, I think today it stands at like 30,000 views. Yeah, so I thought maybe there's a demand of people wanting to watch these kind of videos. So I actually approached my friend Tim. So Tim, if you're watching this, he has a Giant TCR. And I asked him, hey, I told him about the story about my bike getting 30,000 views. And I said, do you think I can do a review or you tell me about your wind space? So at the time, wind space was very new in Singapore and he has the wind space. And I said, why don't you tell me about your wind space? So I took my camera, we went to some park and he started narrating about his wind space and I uploaded it on YouTube. So obviously initially the pickup was slow, but it gained momentum. Then I approached all my cycling friends, hey, can I come and review your bike? You tell me the story, right? And of course at that time, what I call season 1 of my interviews, I am not present in the videos. That's how, man. And then 6 months down the road, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay. Knowing that you have built what we call the bike that you always wanted, S-Works Venge, and then now that you have actually gone on to go and view other people's bikes, was there any particular bike that you saw that, hey, this is actually a very unique thing, it's not something that's usual, it's not something off the shelf?
To answer your question, I think the Madone, the one where I did Williams track Madone, the yellow fluorescent, yeah, it had that ISO speed. Is it called ISO speed? Yeah. The one where it goes top into the top tube. I thought that was super unique. I never knew that was on Madone. So when I do these kind of videos, it's actually a learning curve for me as well. I learned so many new things about bikes, and yeah, I think that ISO speed was really, really cool, but I think the Madone is heavy, man. If I didn't get the Venge, I was looking at the Madone, but too expensive.
You actually kind of answered my next question. So if let's say S-Works Venge was not in the market, what bike would have been your dream bike?
Like I said, Madone was the first one. I really liked the Venge. That's why I got the second-hand Venge. I wanted to buy a new Venge. It was way too expensive. Even looking back, right, when I bought my Venge on Carousel, I think it was too expensive. So the guy who's watching this video must be laughing at me right now. Like, oh, I paid this amount of money. I ripped you off, man. So top of the list is, I would say now that I have a Venge, Madone, F12, these are like COVID cyclist bikes, but I like these bikes, it looks nice. Initially, I didn't like the curves of the F12, but after looking at so many, I kind of grew to like it. But it's still too expensive, I can't afford it.
Okay. So, moving more towards, cycling in general, what do you normally ride, whom do you normally ride with, or, what kind of riding do you actually do, or is it just a PCN rider? No offense there, Yeah, what kind of riding do you normally do?
I used to do Mandai Loop and come down to West Coast Highway, that whole loop that everyone does, right? But now I'm so busy with YouTube, I only ride at nights. Weekday nights after my work, I do a bit of editing and then I go on down to TMCR. You can find me at TMCR every day, man. But the thing is, sometimes people who message me and they want to follow me, I'd say that I'm so sorry I can't fix a date because it's really on the fly when I'm done with work and editing. I'm like, okay, let's go. So it's just TMCR all day, every day. I have a Strava club. You must join me, man.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's TMCR only.
So, actually, do people know who Oompa Loompa is? We know. We've seen what's behind the mask. But do other people actually know who's behind the mask and what's all about?
The reason behind the mask, like I said, when I first started out the YouTube channel, I didn't want the fame. I wanted to tell people's stories. So as you can see in my older video, season 1, I'm never in front of the camera. I'm always the guy behind the camera and I facilitate the interview. I think there was one video of an SL7 that I did and the guy didn't want to be in front of the camera. So the way I positioned the camera, I was facing the camera, but I was wearing my surgical mask because of COVID, right? And I think one of the comments, the guy said that, hey, I actually like this style of interview where, there's two conversations rather than just a guy, and I have that very famous stool which is very low on the ground. Nobody likes to sit on that stool.
Buy from Army Market.
Actually, I bought it somewhere around here, like a camping chair, it's cheap, like $10. So I actually took that feedback, like, okay, maybe people want to see like what we're having right now, right? So I still didn't want to reveal my face just to keep my personal life apart, and that is the reason behind the mask. Actually, the idea came from my dad. My dad said, hey, you should just wear the KFC bucket. and like drill some holes.
Right?
Yeah, but KFC maybe get sued next time if my channel ever gets bigger. And actually, I'm into rock and heavy metal music, so there's this band called Slipknot. They're all in the masks. So that was also the inspiration behind the mask. Yeah, and I keep the curiosity. But if you guys want to watch my real face, right, I actually have a YouTube membership. So people can subscribe.
Wow,
That's very personal. Actually, when I came here, I was vlogging the whole scene, man. So all the behind the scenes are all on my membership portal.
Membership,
Let's show the face.
Face review at 10 subs.
Even becoming an OnlyFans.
You did one bike where you showcased the Java. What inspired that?
What inspired that? I think there's no inspiration. So this guy, he just came up to me. He's like, hey, I have a Java, would you like to feature my bike? I was like, yeah, sure, because I want a diverse bike, so people who are also from the budget entry all the way to the top. But there's only one bike that I won't do, which is OEM frames. Reason being, I did one OEM bike, and that video got removed from YouTube. So yeah, because it's like a fake thing, so YouTube doesn't part of their legal policy. They don't want all this kind of stuff. That's why you can't search OEM. I don't think there are many OEM videos. Yeah, but I generally try to cover a lot of different various bikes. But again, because I'm a one-man show, I have a full-time job, I find it a bit difficult. I know there are people who message me, I'm like, yeah, you have to wait till June. So yeah, I'm sorry, but if you guys want to feature your bike, man, just DM me on Instagram. I'm happy to feature a bike.
So the reason why I'm asking, right? One time when I was cycling with him, my bike got mistaken. My SL7 got mistaken for a Java. Hey, what up?
It's a Java. Another question is, do you actually make money from your YouTube channel?
Yeah, the answer is of course. I can be very upfront. So revenue sources come from advertisements, or if you watch my 30-minute videos, sometimes you will see ad popping up. So I get paid by YouTube for placing ads on my channels, and also obviously my YouTube membership, right? But again, I did a video explaining why I had the YouTube membership. So it's only $3 a month. So I'm hoping that the YouTube membership kind of subsidize the cost, even though I generally do not need that funds because I have a daytime job, but it's more like an incentive for me to keep going, right? Even if I don't get the funds, I'll still continue doing it, but maybe not as high quality as now, because some of the revenue that comes from YouTube is invested into the camera gear. Like now my mic is a dual setup. That's all coming from YouTube, man. If not, I won't be able to afford all this kind of stuff.
Fantastic. We are really very thankful that we have our guest here and our first of many series of For Fuck's Sake, where we actually ask frequently asked questions. So if you have anybody that you would like us to go and bring as a guest, or maybe a club member, or even somebody very famous within the whole local scene, whole local cycling scene, do drop us down in the comments below, and also do check out his channel. Thank you so much for watching, and do catch us in the next one. Bye!